The 2011 Ohio Employee Ownership Awards. And we're going to start with the award for getting your ESOP off to a good start. Grand River Rubber and Plastics Company in Ashtabula is the recipient of the 2011 OEOC Award for getting your ESOP off to a good start. Grand River employees, if you would please make your way up to the podium. And while you're on your way up, I'll talk about your company and your ESOP. You can come up on the dais here. On January 5th, 2011, the 200 employees, 150 of whom are members of the United Steelworkers Local Union 1020L, used an ESOP to purchase 100% of the company from the two selling owners, Rick Sellup and Joe Misenek. A 100% ESOP buyout is rare because the financing is difficult to obtain for a 100% purchase. In Grand River's case, no additional bank financing was involved, though, as the two selling owners will hold the purchase note and be paid as cash flow allows. Note that, paid as cash flow allows. A very clever payment provision that takes into account the cyclical nature of Grand River's business. Grand River is a diversified manufacturer of lathe-cut washers for 11 different industries, of flat drive belts for the floor care industry, and of tubular products. The effort on the part of the owners to sell to the employees via an ESOP did not occur overnight. They began the effort in 2008. In fact, in October 2008, OEOC staff were involved in training all employees about the Grand River ESOP. Unfortunately, in November 2008, unrelated to our training, by the way, the bottom fell out of their business. Rick Sellup commented that he'd never seen anything like it in all the years he owned the company, and that he didn't feel right about selling to the employees at that time. Selling at a time when the company's business was about to go off a cliff would not be getting the ESOP off to a good start. But the company survived the Great Recession and is now doing record business, and the time was right for selling the company to the ESOP. In announcing the deal, Rick Sellup said, "The benefit for our company is a smooth transition without financial stress or the worry that might come from an outside purchaser. Our community, vendors, suppliers, and customers can rest easy knowing a strategic plan is in place, executed by the owners and executives they have always known." The new employees have already set up an ESOP communications committee and an ESOP administrative committee, made up of equal numbers of union and non-union folks to help ensure that the ESOP makes the transition forward successfully. For the above reasons, the OEOC is proud to present to Grand River Rubber and Plastics Company the 2011 award for getting your ESOP off to a good start. Accepting the award for Grand River is Donnie Chaplin, Senior Vice President.
On behalf of Grand River Rubber, the ESOP committee, would like to thank Bill McIntyre and the OEOC. Rick Sellup, our president and former owner, I guess we can say, is disappointed he couldn't be here, but he chose Florida for some reason over Akron, so go figure. But anyways, you know, we've had a saying at Grand River since 1976, and obviously not me personally, because I'm not that old, but Rick had a saying that Grand River existed for the employees that were fortunate enough to work there. And going over that time since 76, when we did $750,000 in sales, to this year where we'll hit $45 million in sales, we've made a lot of business decisions that are more employee-oriented than business decisions. We've made business decisions that, quite frankly, are business decisions that were poor business decisions for short term, but they were great decisions as far as the employees go. And as Bill said, in 2008, as we were going down, we had 53 people on layoff. By March of 2009, we had all those people back, and our goal was to not lose a customer. We've now, 2011, we managed that goal, and again, going to record sales. So going forward, new ESOP era, we all have a lot to learn, but our goal is going to be the same, that moving forward, we secure viable, well-paying jobs in Ashtabula, Ohio, for not only the people that are fortunate enough to work at Grand River Rubber, but now own Grand River Rubber. So again, we thank you for this award.
Thank you very much, and congratulations. And we think we want to have them posed down here for a picture, folks. And while they're posing, I'll introduce Karen Thomas, the OEOC staff person who is responsible for coordinating the activities of Ohio's employee-owned network of companies. Will now present several OEOC recognition awards. Karen.
We're delighted to recognize three other wonderful companies this morning. One is involved with industrial manufacturing and services. One is involved in retailing, and one in business services. And the three of them really reflect the power, the potential of employee ownership, and we're glad they're with us today. First, we celebrate Vodo Sales on the 30th anniversary of their ESOP, and we invite the group from Vodo to come forward. Headquartered in Steubenville, Vodo Sales was formed in 1938 by Harry Vogelsong, and it grew to serve the open pit coal mines that were developed in the Ohio Valley during World War II. They offered a new service, wire rope cut to length and delivered to their job site. In the 1950s, the company expanded into lubricants, industrial rubber products, hydraulic hose and fittings, and also expanded out of Ohio and into western Pennsylvania. At this time, direct stock ownership was offered to employees, and many got involved in management and also served on the company's board. Their ESOP was started in 1981 when the founder's son retired. He could have sold to an outsider, but he felt that an ESOP would be good for everyone, and he was right. The ESOP now owns 100% of the company's stock. Vodo's 47 employee owners are proud to have a stake in the business, and they strive to work very efficiently together. Even with the economy in a slump, Vodo has done well. Everyone shares business and financial information at their company meetings. Everyone's able to ask questions and voice their opinions. Everyone votes on all their board seats. The rewards for their success include dividends, bonuses, and their yearly ESOP contributions. Education and career growth is encouraged through job training, through advancement, and in participation in a variety of conferences, including ESOP conferences and workshops. As a 100% employee-owned company, Vodo employees go the extra mile to satisfy their customers because they know that customer satisfaction is their livelihood. We congratulate you all on 30 years of employee ownership. Thank you. And,
Thank you so much. On behalf of all the Vodo employees, we'd like to thank the OEOC for this special presentation. This past Wednesday, the company supplied lunch to all the employees for the 30 years as an ESOP company, along with 73 years in business. And you know, you think back, and some 30 years ago, the principals of the company, we feel that they must have had great vision, great input, and to realize the benefits of becoming an ESOP company. And we're paying dividends today because of that. So we've had a wonderful 30 years. It's been up and downs, but that's business. And we look forward to another 30 years. So thank you.
We also salute the employee owners of Respects Food Markets on the 25th anniversary of their ESOP, and we ask Company Treasurer and CFO Ed Schmidt to please come forward. Respects is a locally owned retail grocery chain with 1,300 employee owners and corporate offices in St. Clairsville. The company is both family-owned and 57% employee-owned through their ESOP established in 1986. Their ESOP is the major reason their business is still locally owned and operated. It provides a generous retirement plan and a market which would not otherwise exist for the Respect family stock. The company was started in 1932 as a corner grocery store by Grandma Respect. She was a widow with 5 children. Her children later joined the business, as did her grandchildren, and today the company has 14 stores in Eastern Ohio, 2 in West Virginia, and 6 pharmacies. Respect's vision is building an environment of dignity and respect for all its employees and all of its customers. The Respects are strong supporters of employee ownership, and they see it as a winning strategy for family businesses. They have met with their local congressional representatives to thank them for their current and their future support of ESOPs. Representing Respects today is Ed Schmidt. He is a longtime supporter of Ohio's employee-owned business community, of the OEOC, and of this conference. He is an advisor to other ESOPs, a teacher at Wheeling Jesuit University, and a mentor to their business students and their faculty who are interested in ESOPs.
Thank you very much, Karen. On behalf of the Respect family, the board, all of the employees, 1,300 employees who benefit from the ESOP, it's an honor to accept this award. Back in 1986, the family was evolving from the second to the third generation, and they had always had participative management philosophies, and the ESOP was a perfect tool to provide a market for the stock between a change in generations, and it's worked wonderfully for us. As Karen said, we would probably not be a locally owned business if it were not for the ESOP. And thanks to the OEOC, they've been a great help to us over the last 20 years at least. And it's been an honor to be here and be part of this organization. So thank you very much, Karen.
We also recognize Perry Corporation for 25 years of employee ownership and invite the employee owners of Perry to come forward. Perry Corporation is one of the top independent office technology dealers in the country. It is based in Lima. The company was started by Rex Perry, who then sold his stock to the ESOP as an ownership succession strategy in 1986, and they became 100% ESOP owned in 1996. As they are fond of saying, most of our employee benefits are like Ford trucks, good enough and very dependable. But our ESOP is a Cadillac. It's a cut above the rest. In recent years, Perry has grown with 6 branch locations and a wholly owned subsidiary. And in response to this growth, they formed an ESOP committee to keep communication open throughout their branches and to promote unity around their business vision and as a way to support their recruitment and retention efforts. Committee members represent each location, and they really reflect the creative spirit of this company and all their activities. They also made a commitment to educate themselves, and in the past fall, they completed 3 classes, the ABCs of ESOPs, ESOP Communication and Teamwork, and How Can I Impact the Bottom Line, classes that were sponsored by Ohio's Employee-Owned Network during 2010. So we welcome the group from Perry today, and we recognize their 25th anniversary of their ESOP for this year, and we also have the Employee Ownership Basics certificates to award to all the members of their committee. With us today is Barry Clark, Perry's president and CEO, and committee members including Chris McConaughey, Kevin Middleton, Kyle Stover, and Becky Taylor, who is the company controller and one of 2 management champions for the committee. Thank you.
On behalf of my fellow employee owners, I proudly accept this recognition. And I'd like to take a minute to recognize the results of what my fellow employees have done over the years. Michael, you talked about wealth creation. And a couple quick statistics about what this group and their associates back home have been able to accomplish. The average ESOP balance at Perry Corporation is $300,000. Our stock appreciates on an average of 13.7% a year since the inception back in '86. Our stock is actually 18,000% more today than it was back in 1986. So the wealth creation is working nicely at Perry Corporation. My only other hope is that 25 years from now, there'll be someone else from Perry Corporation up here accepting some type of recognition for 50 years. And hopefully he or she will have a lot more and bigger results to share with you. Thank you so much.
And accepting all of the Employee Ownership Basics certificates on behalf of the committee is Kyle Stover.
I'd like to thank the OEOC and the Ohio Employee Ownership Network for the training that we received as a committee. Anybody in this room that has thought about starting an ESOP committee or has started an ESOP committee knows that it is not an easy task. Definitely was not an easy task for us. Just having nowhere to nothing to look at, nothing to say what works, what doesn't work, starting from scratch. Going through these training programs has helped us tremendously. We've already seen quite a few rewards from those efforts, and like to hopefully continue that. I know we will. We're very committed to it. I'd just like to thank Karen and Jay for helping us along that path. Thank you very much.
We have one additional award, and it is the John Logue Employee Ownership Excellence Award. It's the highest honor bestowed by the Ohio Employee Ownership Center. It's awarded annually to the person, organization, or company that has made the largest contribution to employee ownership in Ohio during the past year. Last year, EBO Group, a 100% employee-owned company in Sharon Center, was the recipient of the award. Just folks from EBO Group, if you could stand. I know they were here earlier. There they are. And last year was the first year that the award was offered. And this is the second year in which we are presenting the John Logue Award. Let me tell you a little bit about John Logue. John believed that employee ownership was the ultimate self-help strategy. All workers earn a stake in the company they work for, and watch the transformation that occurs in their lives, their business, and their community. His professional and personal dedication to establishing employee ownership as a way for working men and women to exert greater control over their working lives and sharing in the success of their companies continues on in the work of the OEOC. John founded the OEOC in 1987 and was its director until his untimely passing in December of 2009. This year, the Ohio Employee Ownership Center is pleased to recognize India Pierce Lee and Lillian Curry, both of the Cleveland Foundation, for their tireless work in support of employee ownership and the Evergreen Cooperative Initiative. Their dedication to ensuring the successful launches of the Evergreen Cooperative Laundry, Ohio Cooperative Solar, and Neighborhood Voice speaks to their commitment to employee ownership. They also serve on the board of directors of Evergreen Cooperative Laundry and Ohio Cooperative Solar. What's more, their commitment to creating from the Evergreen Project a model for other distressed urban areas resulted in the Cleveland Foundation receiving a nearly $15 million grant to expand development in the greater University Circle area of Cleveland and to replicate the employee ownership model of the Evergreen Cooperative Initiative in other cities. This is all through the Living Cities Integration Initiatives Project. Youngstown and Warren are two cities next on the agenda. Lillian Curry is the Program Director for Architecture, Urban Design, and Sustainable Development at the Cleveland Foundation. She was early to recognize and take advantage of the potential linkage of two vastly different neighboring communities. The innovative solution of the Evergreen Cooperatives took advantage of the demand for products and services required by the wealthy anchor institutions in a wealthy neighborhood and resolved to satisfy that demand with newly created worker-owned businesses that reside in the surrounding low-income community. The result, a sustainable and replicable model of employee ownership for the creation and anchoring of wealth within urban areas that had long suffered from economic hardship. India Pierce Lee is a program director for neighborhoods, housing, and community development at the Cleveland Foundation. She has helped lead the Cleveland Foundation's Greater University Circle Area initiative with a particular emphasis on community wealth and economic inclusion. India provided the guidance for the successful implementation of the Evergreen Cooperative Initiative. From the beginning, she has insisted the Evergreen Initiative companies aim higher by not just meeting but exceeding the service and quality needs of their customers. She has long championed the ideal that the Evergreen family of companies be best in class. So the OEOC is proud to bestow the 2011 John Logue Employee Ownership Excellence Award to India Pierce Lee and Lillian Curry for their dedication and continuing efforts in building employee ownership in Northeast Ohio and beyond. Let's have a round of applause for them. Now you may be wondering, where are they? Neither Lillian nor India can be here today, as both are traveling on business. However, we conducted a mini award ceremony for the two of them last week at Evergreen Cooperative Laundry. And here is a video of the presentation of the awards. For their dedication and continuing efforts to building employee ownership in Northeast Ohio and beyond. The Ohio Employee Ownership Center is proud to bestow the 2011 John Logue Employee Ownership Excellence Award to India Pierce Lee and Lillian Curry.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Ohio Employee Ownership Center for this momentous occasion, and I'm really, really humbled by this award. You know, when I think back to Dr. John Logue and what he really brought to this team and where we are today, you know, we always sit back and say, we know John is looking down on us and looking at the work we've done. And a lot of his efforts are here in the room today. Some of the first people to come on board had the opportunity to meet with Dr. Logue and really understand what this meant, that this wasn't just about creating a company and it wasn't just about jobs, but really taking ownership of not only the business, but this community and people taking advantage and ownership of their own lives. And I just want to thank the Ohio Employee Ownership Center for bringing the foresight and helping us to learn what it meant for employee ownership, but the cooperative model, which is really taking off here, and we're setting a model nationally. You know, the work is hard, a lot of work has to be done, but this is going to become a national model and a way to do business in this country. And we owe the Ohio Employee Ownership a lot of gratitude for the impetus and the work, and to John Logue, who, you know, I know he's smiling down on us, and it's such a blessing. We miss him, but in his name, we will continue to be successful. Thank you again.
So I'd like to really say how humble we are to receive this award, and so sorry that we couldn't be at the conference with you to receive it. But I wanted to just share what John Logue meant to me personally, having gotten to know him and spend a lot of time with him over the last 4 years, had truly changed my life, because he was such a visionary. He had such a vision that was so big, but at the same time he was so practical. And to have those two qualities and to put them together and to be able to work at both those levels simultaneously is really difficult, but truly inspiring to me. And I think that's what I feel is so important about the work that we're doing, is that it's big vision. This is, as India said, we think this can make big change, not just to Cleveland, but to our nation. But at the same time, it's really practical. These are businesses and these are jobs, and this is about wealth creation, and this is about changing things on the ground here in Cleveland as well. And that's really what John represented to me, and why I'm so honored to receive this award, because it reminds me to stay there, but also to stay on the ground. And so thank you, and I'm really honored to receive this award.
And thank you to Chris Cooper, who's down in front here, and David Sullivan, who is standing up and back for putting together the video of the award ceremony. Thank you, guys.